Hey Sagittarius. Hope this day finds you well. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Yeah, I was up late last night doing readings for y'all. That's how devoted I am. Sagittarius. So, as we're in September now and is turning around as we speak and we'll be going direct tomorrow. Yay, because we've had it. But it has really put a focus on relationships for a lot of us. Whether you're in relationships or not in relationships, we've been thinking about them. Definitely. So I decided to do what lesson you've been learning. What's the lesson, Sag? I feel like the lesson has been about relationships. It has been about the relationships that you approach, the relationships that you're in, all of the things. So, I feel like Sagittarius, sometimes for us, there is this struggle because of our independence and thinking at times that we're very, as a sign, we're very good at being single. We take commitment very seriously. We don't jump into things. I know that there is a narrative out there that we jump from relationship to relationship, and I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that's true, like, even a little bit. Okay, Sag? But I feel like the way that you approach relationships is a lesson that you've been learning. It can also be a specific relationships that have been teaching you this lately. So we're seeing purpose, relationships, freedom, and happiness. Like, wow. Because I feel very strongly, Sag, that you don't want relationships that don't move in purpose. Okay, so how you're dating may be changing, but I definitely feel like there is this kind of this how to describe it, this movement for you upon realizing that you actually do want them. You know what I mean? Because I think we're always in battle in, do I have a relationship or do I stay single? Because my independence is very important to me, and I feel like with purpose, I know what I am here to do, and you're here to be happy. And we weren't meant to be alone, to be honest. We weren't. That's an ideology that I subscribe to. And I feel like what you're coming to see is that you can have freedom in relationships. You can be in relationships and still be independent. There may be at times this battle for you in terms of retaining your independence and being in relationships, right? Because a lot of people believe that that's mutually exclusive, and it's not. Relationships are not restrictive. If you're in a relationship that restricts movement for you, then you're in the wrong relationship. To be honest, I'm just saying, I said what I said. There could be some, Ten of Cups with the Queen of Swords. There could be some information to you, but I feel like what's happening with you, Sag, is that you're not going to be out here just serial dating and having a good time. I mean, having a good time is great, and as Venus retrograde in Leo, I was calling it the hoe transit, right? Because that's Leo, right? And I feel like you're moving towards more purposeful dating. I do feel like this may be for the singles, not necessarily the ones in committed relationships at all. But if you are in a committed relationship, there could be more about moving this relationship to purpose and the sense of knowing that this is part of your life purpose. You're definitely being more discerning. So this is definitely a switch in relationships towards purposeful dating, which says what? It says that I want the 10 of Cups. And this is the way I'm going to move. See, I feel like we at times think we have to go with the flow in the culture, which the culture is hookup culture and casual dating and all of that. And I feel like you're moving away from that. I feel like there's just no way you're going to do it, because there's a sense of knowing what you want, and so you're going to be very discerning about it. And also, that still allows you to be an independent person. Now, under the deck was the Sun, the 10 of Pentacles, wow, okay, and Awakening, which is Judgment. I mean, it's really making the decision that you want commitment, basically, that you want the whole thing, that you don't want halfway, right? And because we're in a time of, if you watch any of the woo-woo that's out there, we really are in this time of the divine feminine rising. And so when we've really become very, and that's really hard for Sagittarius, because we are a masculine sign. We are about action, right? And I feel like what's happening is this is all coming about because you're starting to question your relationships. Because the High Priestess and the Tower reversed is here. It could be that the relationships you have currently just aren't changing. And, the Tower reversed are people who resist change, meaning taking a look and seeing the relationships in your life that aren't promoting growth, and really, really, really going within and trusting your intuition in terms of that very thing. Like, if it's not growing, it's not flowing, right? Because you want the 10 of Cups. You want the 10 of Pentacles. That's what you want. And it's about really sitting in that energy and really kind of letting go of relationships that show no probability for that, no possibility for that, right? And freedom is here. And, it could be that certain relationships have been showing you that maybe you've been involved with people that have been resisting change, resisting growth, like it's not changing. And, this has really been, a time, especially if you've had people coming back, and we've seen a lot of that energy. It's so repetitive in the readings. I know, y'all, I know, I'm just as frustrated with it. But why all of these things happened really is because it's to free you of like abandonment wounds, rejection wounds, and that's what maybe you haven't been seeing it, but that's what these, current relationships that you're having realizations about are leading you to the realization of what you want. And in order to have what you want, you had to free yourself of these wounds. Sagittarius naturally has an abandonment wound. And we have this kind of, it's why they call us the seeker. Everyone says it's about truth. But Sagittarius is always trying to find where they belong. And they always kind of move in this energy of feeling like they don't belong anywhere. And I feel like, this time in relationships, even Venus retrograde, the lessons have been to look at this head on. Because with the Five of Pentacles, here's the other thing about the Five of Pentacles that people don't really get, is that there is still a sense of life going on. You lose some, you win some, life goes on, right? And this like time and these lessons really are helping you to see exactly what you want and to see it's possible to stay within who you are as an independent person and have relationships that are committed, that are happy, that you can actually, Sag, have everything. You can have everything you want. You can have these things that other people have, but there definitely was a need, and there were things showing up, and particularly there were things showing up in relationships. And, it could be people who were resisting change. It could be that you were resisting change in relationships, maybe going back to the same old relationships because you didn't want to deal with the wounds. And now, the universe is saying, I'm here to set you free of these wounds and to show you that you can find freedom in relationships. You can. And what this is doing is bringing happiness in, Sag. I am aware that being happy means I'm on the right path. And this is happiness within yourself. This is happiness within yourself. And a real, with the Two of Pentacles being reversed, which is, the Two of Pentacles is about our priorities. It's about balance. And, finding this space within yourself is actually allowing for you to be grounded, to be, this is also too about understanding that maybe the relationships that you've been having haven't exactly been loyal to you. And that if you're not loyal to you, another person is not going to be loyal to you. And that's why I feel like you are definitely moving differently in relationships. Now, Sagittarius very much is like oh God, I can't even think of the word, but we are nonconformists. We do not conform to traditional ideas. Okay? And it's possible for you to have that and not be traditional. Now, not being traditional doesn't mean, no stability or no commitment. It still means commitment. But first, that commitment has to come from you. So the more committed to yourself you are, the more you call that in. And that's what you're starting to see is the decision you need to make in terms of what's really important to you. And so your true happiness is moving in what's really important to you. And it seems like what's really important to you is commitment. I hate to say it, but it's commitment. And realizing that some of the relationships that you've been, I don't want to say entertaining, but just haven't been changing. And they might be comfortable, right? But they could also be. Comfort doesn't equal balance, Sag. Okay, so I feel like these are the things that you're discovering. This is what you're learning. It's deep, I know. It's so deep. And where this is taking you is Queen of Swords, the Tower of Reverse, the Two of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles reverse. Making decisions on being able to actually take the blinders off and look at what is not balanced. Look at where things are not changing and fire higher appropriately. So I do feel like you're going to be clearing relationships out that don't show up in that. But in order to do that first, you have to start to just admit to yourself that the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups is what you want. That's what you want. Not a we'll see, or, not a, I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. None of that. You want the long time, Sag. You want the long time. And that's how there's a specific way in moving when you realize that, when that becomes your standard. And I feel like you're going to seriously just exit the building on everything else. Because this is all about how it's shown you how you have not shown up in loyalty to yourself. And maybe you didn't know. Maybe you didn't know. I feel like there's been a lot of confusion, to be honest. Maybe even a lot of options, but kind of none of them make you happy. And it's kind of like trying to understand why are they not making me happy? Because it isn't the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, that's some hard talk, right? That's some hard talk. And this is, I guess you could call this your spiritual reading, because we're gearing up for September, yo. So I'm going to, my next reading is going to be about what we're manifesting, what new things are coming in for us. We're ready for this, Sag. Ready. Toodles.